Hello, everybody. This is Lunch Hour with Max Noir. I'm here with my co-host Edwin Rogers,
Hello.
and this week we have Nava Berg and Paige Dansinger. We're going to be talking about how you can use VR socially and also all of the opportunities you have to create art. So, how are you guys doing today?
Oh,
Great.
great. Doing really well. I mean, it's raining here in South Florida, but otherwise in VR, it's sunny
It's always sunny in VR.
That's
always.
awesome.
Yeah. I live in
And Paige,
Minneapolis and I don't even look outside.
so last week we had Vivian Chazen on, who is like the founder of the Hive VR, and she talked a bit about that. And now she's passed the torch over to Nava, who just finished your first season, right, of the Hive.
Right. I mean, she's unbelievable. She not only founded the Hive, she does productions for social VR events. She's an onward player for the Colettos. This girl's like she's like the triple effect, but it's like more than a triple effect. She's everywhere. She's just the one of the hardest workers. So, but yeah, she's amazing. And just taking after season one, we did like 12 episodes in 12 weeks, taking a little break and thinking about season two.
That's amazing. So, what are you doing now in your off season?
Well, I can't believe this is crazy, but I think today is the 1 year anniversary for the Oculus Quest, or maybe yesterday
Wow.
was.
Yeah.
So I've been reading and trying to educate on just all the different updates with the social side of it, but also the creator side. I'm going to be a part of AWE. And I know you guys are going to be a part of AWE, so I'll be
Yeah.
doing track sessions and moderating a panel, and trying to connect the community and draw in VR and go into social VR, right? So there's so many different apps and virtual collaboration tools right now. I'm just
Yeah.
really just diving headfirst in all of them.
Awesome. So you're busy bee, right?
Oh,
Busy
always,
bee from
right?
the Hive.
That's right.
Paige, what have you been up to?
Better World Museum has
Mhm.
had the honor of being a guest on the Hive. And I must say that it was a highlight of not just 2020, but particularly this time during the pandemic where we're
Yeah.
social isolating. Nava's show has served to not just bring people together, but forward the social and intellectualism and practice and research that
Yeah.
supports this vibrant, growing community. So
Wow.
thank you, Nava.
Paige, thank you. Because one of the things that Paige said when she was, and I'm never going to forget this, was it was such a great tip for even people who are going to be new to VR, who might be getting their Oculus Quest because, it's back in, or they're getting another headset. The main thing she said that it was just such a great takeaway is fail forward. Right? Right,
That's
Paige? I
great.
love that. That is a lot of people don't like to fail forward.
Yeah.
I
That
love
should
to fail forward. In fact, I would say that 100% of my success, aside from education and family and community support, well, actually, all that's part of it is failing forward. And there's nothing that I have achieved without that being an integral part of the process. In
Yeah.
fact, I've been having a great time failing forward lately in Better World Museum as we've transitioned into a cross-platform museum hosted currently inside of Rec Room. And that's accessible in iOS, PC, PlayStation, Oculus, and Steam. And I feel as though it's really important right now, during this time especially, to act as enacting and using virtual reality and creative tech as a rainbow bridge deeper into immersive media and VR. Not everyone right now who is at home, quarantine at home, has a VR headset. and it's even assumptive. I believe 50% of the world doesn't have internet. So trying to create opportunities of inclusion at
Yeah.
this time, we've created this museum, and we're having, thank you, Alana. Uh, we're having a vibrant teen education program starting where we use in-game avatars as virtual beings to create little lessons that visitors to the museum can hear different guest guest I'm calling them guest teaching artists, right, as virtual beings, but really they're the people already inside of Rec Room who, until the museum was founded, didn't realize that they were already leaders and educators because they helped lead me. I was able to see this talent. We started out with just a template room and hosted a couple of events, and then
I ate pizzas and donuts and drank
yeah,
root beer.
really fun, and we raw together and watched.
I was there. I have to say, eating pizza inside of Rec Room is a very special experience.
It is.
100.
The haptic feedback on the pizza.
Yeah,
It was great.
yeah. In fact, we made a pizza time video and a sound mix, and now the sound mix has been re-recorded by other artists not on VR, and we're importing those soundtracks into our party room at the museum
Fun.
to lure them in. I mean, because it's cross-platform, it's a wonderful way to bring people in. So
Yeah.
I'm failing forward these days as acting as a rainbow bridge, and everything is going right.
Awesome.
So we have an incredible 11-year-old artist in residence, Alex, who created an exhibition surrounding the trees for Earth Day. And now we're going to have an exhibit of his as soon as he finishes school. I didn't want to interfere with the schooling from home. And then we're kicking off these wonderful teen educators in Holatars. So really playing with virtual forms and encouraging the youth that are there. One of the builders of the museum, I was going to tell you that 13 and 15-year-olds rebuilt the entire museum. And I told them to build anything that I trust you. And they built
That's incredible.
the most gorgeous museum campus. Nava has visited it and
great.
opened up the festivities at our Earth Day. So we were really honored, and she'll be presenting Alex's work at his solo show.
Wonderful.
Really, really proud to partner in this opportunity with Nava.
It is. It's great. I mean, the best part of social VR, and especially something that has, iOS capability or PC capability, is that, someone who doesn't have a VR headset can experience that that feeling of being an avatar. I mean, hey, we got our Facebook avatars. We're getting used to our avatars. The whole world is, right? So it's such a great experiment to be able to grab people from the outside and really showcase, hey, I know you can't hang out with your friends, but maybe you can get all your friends on this app and you guys can be avatars and hang out with your avatars friends, your friends that are avatars. So it's so simple to understand that process for VR, it doesn't always have to be a headset, so that's what's really fun.
Yeah.
It allows people just like my mom to be able to participate.
Yes, exactly.
That's what we want.
My mom watches every one of these shows, so she's getting to learn a little bit about VR, without having a VR headset. So that's fun. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Max's mom. You did a great job.
Aw, thanks, Mom. All right, so let's play a clip from Better World Museum, give the audience a better sense of what you've been working on.
Hey, thank
Awesome
you.
video.
That is pretty amazing. Can you explain a little bit about what's going on in those clips?
Absolutely. That was an incredible clip. Thank you for sharing that. That video was produced by our incredible friends, XR Pioneer, based in Shenzhen, China, founded
Shout out.
by the brilliant Paola Polino. And we, Better World Museum, was a partner guest for the entire summer last year as part of our Facebook Community Leadership Fellow Program. Better World Museum closed its doors and created pop-up museums to take our community building practices to other communities that foster technology and education together. So
Yeah.
a Better World Museum felt that XR Pioneer was the premier team today to work with, and it was a true honor.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. You're doing so much good stuff, and I'm always inspired by you, Paige.
Well,
She's making the world a better place.
Yes. And what else would you do with VR, right?
No, we're doing it together. We're doing it together. By sharing our story, really, truly, the me behind it has turned into a we. And we, as a collective movement, are truly making a better world.
Yeah, agreed. So Nava, you, I would consider to be a social media guru. So, I mean, besides the Hive, what are you sort of doing with social media and anything else that you're working on, in regards to VR, and maybe you can speak a little bit on why the passion?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in social media for a long time, probably since like 08 or 2008 or something around that time. And, I loved it because it was really great to be able to share your content, connect with others. But after a while, the 2D newsfeed scroll really gets a little taxing, especially when you're in PR and news is trending faster than you could breathe. And you have different clients, it can be hard to really manage communities and create that connection and feeling of like you're there with them. So when I was reading an article and then all of a sudden I was totally sold by virtual reality and augmented reality, because I thought, wow, what a great way to connect with others. You can actually hang out with them, because I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and all of my kindergarten friends are hanging out all the time and I'm missing out. I'm always trying to find a way to be there without having to travel. And I thought, wow, this is the answer. So not just from the business, but from the personal aspect. So I, slowed down social media. Obviously I care about marketing and PR, so I was still doing it, but I really took 100% focus on virtual reality because I wanted to see, is this really what it says it is? So I put money towards a conference, Facebook F8, and I saw the Facebook Spaces booth, and I was like, that's it, I'm sold. I went to Best Buy the next day. I purchased the Rift and a PC, and I started just playing with content within social VR. And when I say social VR, it's this digital environment where your avatar is placed inside. You're wearing a headset, or you can look through your phone, but you feel presence through a VR headset. So what was really great was when I was inside, I was creating content and I was like, okay, this is very cool. I'm creating 3D models without knowing CAD. This is awesome. And all of these things that I was doing, and I started to just reach out to people and connect to people. I ended up meeting Paige, Eva, CC, like the ARVR Women and Allies group. And then from there, we met in real life, and that was it for me. I felt presence with them. I wasn't for sure who they were, but they did have a Facebook page that I checked out a little bit before. And then we met, and it was almost like we had always known each other.
Yeah.
It was like the real world, right? It was the real world, right?
Right.
But that's what's really closed the door on my question and said, okay, this is definitely the future of communication, because really I can't see anything else. The next phase of community is going to be presence. To be able to connect with your audience, it's a no-brainer for every brand, business, anything in the world. Everybody should be buying the Oculus Quest or the Microsoft headset or the HP headset. Like, everybody should have a headset. It's not that expensive. It's just as expensive as a PlayStation that you would buy for your kid. So it's a game changer in communication.
Yeah.
So that's fast forward to where I am today. And another aspect of virtual reality that I really was mind blown from was the artists creating worlds. They were just creating art. I don't want to say just art, because they were creating amazing art. They were creating worlds that we were living in.
Yeah.
So they are the world builders.
Yes. The better worlds.
Yeah. And that's why I knew at that moment artists should be featured. They should be the stars of virtual reality, because they are going to be creating the worlds we live in the future. So why not? Every company should be looking at these artists.
Yeah, I love that.
They're so important. Like, for example, your documentaries are unbelievable. And the way you do it. Did you ever showcase that on the show? We should throw a clip of that.
It's a secret. No.
Yeah.
No, but I really appreciate that. Nava is always sharing all of the work of all of the industry friends, and we all just appreciate that so heavily. You're really a pioneer in pushing our works and our arts forward, making sure that they get more reach than they would if we were just saying, here I am and here's what I did. So
thank you.
We appreciate you.
That means a lot.
Some of the work. We have time for a clip.
Yeah, let's show people what social VR looks like.
Oh, hello world. Get your headset and come into VR.
What I always tell people is that your community is out there somewhere, no matter what you're building. Your community is out there on this platform. And
I had always worked in this process, in this sort of, big confession, I'm not a gamer. I don't do it. I don't play games very well. But I really love the idea of technology as a tool that can help us on a day-to-day basis. And that actually comes from being a Star Wars nerd. I was really into this idea of, like, how does R2-D2, an astromech droid, play this role in helping Luke Skywalker or helping the rebellion?
I have this saying. Well, Adam has taught me this Japanese saying that has been a lot of basis of our work. Adam, can you say it?
Well, Jigenbutsu means, go to where the activity occurs, and it's kind of a philosophy. It's a management philosophy, I guess. But
I think being scrappy in Hollywood, no matter what, even if you're working on Lord of the Rings, it doesn't matter. You still have to be scrappy and not take anything for granted. And I think
it's one of those things that I always tell people, that nobody's better than you. We all have that imposter syndrome.
It was like, we were trying to do a quotation for you.
I was trying to do the. Is this a quotation? Like,
how would you guys do it?
You got
it. Sam gives me the clap, and if you think it's Michelle, give me the plus.
They already know you very well.
Emoji.
Oh.
That was
great.
Yeah, that was like a little overview. Heather Berry worked on that, who is the producer of the show. She's so funny. She's one of the most fun people she's Comedy Central. And so she put that together. and it was nice to look at it. You know, there were so many people that came on the show and that had so many great things to say for people starting out in VR,
Yeah.
people who were maybe startups, like how Adam Bruce was talking about his philosophy.
Yeah.
And I learn and other people learn. And I just have such a great respect for people creating in VR because they are pioneering. It's
Yeah.
very hard. Sometimes it's lonely and, you know, it's thankless, but
Yeah.
everybody needs to just keep at it.
So that
Yeah.
was taking place in Altspace VR?
Yes. So these events are taking place in Altspace VR, which is owned by Microsoft. You can, if you don't have a headset, you can go through PC. Actually, Mixed Reality Development Days is today, and I think it's at 2:30 p.m. or 2:45 or 3. I don't know. It's sometime today. The speaker, the keynote, and then there's going to be a bunch of different events in Altspace. So it might be a good day to sort of hop in and check it
Awesome.
out. But yeah, it's great. It's, you create a world and you invite other people. We had a great community that would come. Friends would come, and then people who were speaking, their friends. It was almost like getting to a conference. And my favorite memory, or like my memory, like the biggest memory I have was the first show. It was with Eva and Adam. They were talking about their product that they created through VR Lab, and FXG came. Nick, and you. And Nick was telling me about COVID-19. I was like, well, coronavirus, what are you talking about?
Oh, wow.
What are you talking about? He's like, oh, yeah.
A
I
warning.
haven't left my apartment. And I said, so I was prepared as of February 13th, because of course, after the show, I was like, I got to get off and Google this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
imagine the things you can learn when you can jump in with anyone from anywhere in the world. I mean, he's in
Yeah.
China. I'm in South Florida. He's in China. We were
Yeah.
hanging out. It
It's
was
incredible.
taking selfies. It's such a great tool.
And it must
It's
have been great
incredible.
for Nick, who was also on. It must have been great for him to be able to escape, you know, since he was trapped in his house in China at a very scary time, to be able to escape and have a conversation with someone in Florida and meet new people.
Happy. He was, and he couldn't understand why. I'm like, why are you so excited? And then he's like, hello, coronavirus going on in China. And I'm like, wow, I'm totally unintelligent right now.
So
Yes.
for those of you watching who maybe don't know the way that the virtual body avatar can sort of affect you neurologically, the thing that sort of sets it apart from traditional gaming or, 2D PC gaming where you have an avatar is when you have this sort of freedom of movement with your hands and you can see your hands moving the way that they're naturally moving in real life, you are actually neurologically tricked into thinking that this avatar body is now your body. So that's what makes the whole experience so deeply immersive and so effective and gives you this idea, I am here, I have left my apartment in China. So social VR is just so important. And I think with this whole pandemic, we've seen the Oculus Quest has been sold out for how many months now?
Since before Christmas.
Since before Christmas. So I think people are sort of waking up to the importance of VR and what it can do for us. So we have a couple more clips to show. We'll show one and then let Paige tell us what it is.
Sure, thanks. Hey, thanks. Hey, that was just a little sketch. That was a fun little sketch.
Just a little thing I threw together.
So, I've been working with teens in Minneapolis, as well as the project has gone to New York, China, and a few other places where we work with wild plants.
That was my fault.
We draw urban edible wild plants, and I'm currently working on a book right now using augmented virtual reality audio and different ways to access, and it's a urban food foraging survival guide and cookbook.
Wow.
Cool.
We're gonna get one of these.
Yes, you're gonna be able to get one. Right now it's like being created on my iPad.
Well, Paige, there's also, what you've done in Tilt Brush with your VR garden. I mean,
oh yeah, VR garden. So
I love
like a little tiny fraction from the main project VR garden, which started out just like a sketch. I posted an invitation like the first week I ever got an Oculus Rift, inviting anyone in the world to add to the VR garden. And now, 4 years later, it is still going around the world.
Wow. That's cool.
It's taken many forms, and Nava drew in Tilt Brush the first time. Using
awesome.
In the VR garden.
Cool.
My first time painting in VR was also in your VR garden. So
we were in the same place.
Yeah, we were in the same after Oculus Connect 5.
Oh yeah,
but it's so much fun when you're painting in VR because you essentially have just like limitless space. It's like you can just paint above, below, around you pretty much forever, and it's just really crazy. So we'll show a clip of that, and then we got to wrap up.
Okay, it's had offshoots even at MIT Reality Hack this year, where 50 or so participants drew dandelions, and it was again the same urban edible plants drawing together, growing a better world through the conversation of gardens. Really
cool.
Love that.
Yeah. We're actually.
Hi everybody, this is Paige, and I thought I'd say hi on Facebook Spaces and draw some more poisonous plants that you can't eat. Well, I don't know if it's poisonous, it's just not edible. So, bleeding hearts.
Oh,
don't eat the bleeding hearts.
Don't eat the bleeding hearts. Yeah, that's
all right.
We'll keep that in mind.
Playlist that you can access on YouTube.
Check them out on YouTube. Check them out on, we've got their Twitter handles here. Give them a follow. Learn everything you can about social VR and VR art. Nava and Paige, it was so nice having you on today.
Thank you.
You have a lot of love coming from me.
I can't wait to all see each other again at Nava's show. Now let's meet at the Hive.
Yes, we'll meet at the Hive.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you so much, guys. This is great. Lunch hour, VR lunch hour. Put the hands up.